I found the photograph tucked away in a dusty old wooden box in my grandmother's attic. It was one of those classic black and white pictures, with faded edges that curled up at the corners. A family portrait, dated 1978. Everyone looked completely normal, smiling awkwardly for the camera. My grandparents, my mum as a teenager, my uncle with that terrible haircut he still denies having. Everyone looked as they should, except for one person, me. I was standing in the back row, peeking over my grandpa's shoulder. It was undeniably me. Same face, same slightly crooked smile, even the same tiny scar above my left eyebrow from when I fell off my bike as a kid. But here's the thing. I wasn't born until 1992. I just laughed it off at first. It had to be a weird coincidence, right? Maybe a distant cousin I never knew I had, someone who just happened to be my doppelganger, or maybe my memory was just playing tricks on me. It was an old house, full of old things and older stories. It was easy to get a little spooked. That night, I brought the photo back to my room and placed it on my dresser, propped up against a stack of books. I figured I'd ask my mum about it in the morning. But then, at 2:11 a.m., I woke up. It was a strange sound, a soft, dry tearing, like paper being slowly ripped. I sat up in bed, my heart pounding. I glanced over at the dresser. The photograph hadn't moved. It was still standing right where I left it. But something was wrong. My face in the picture, it looked lighter, less detailed. It was as if someone had taken a pencil eraser and gently rubbed it over my eyes. The sharp focus was gone, replaced by a faint, blurry smudge. I told myself I was just tired, that the strange light from the street lamp outside was playing tricks on my eyes. I rolled over and tried to go back to sleep. The next morning, the first thing I did was grab my phone to check the time, but it wouldn't unlock. Face ID failed. Again and again. Try again, the screen prompted. I typed in my passcode and opened the camera, switching it to the front-facing view. I looked fine, maybe a little tired, but definitely me. Then I looked at the photograph on the dresser. The change was more obvious in the daylight. My eyes were almost completely gone, just two pale ovals in the middle of my face. It was unsettling, but I still tried to rationalize it. Maybe the photo was just old and deteriorating in a weird way. I had to run to the grocery store later that day, and the strangest things started happening. People would look at me, then look away quickly. It wasn't just a glance. It was a long, confused stare, like they were trying to place me but couldn't. The cashier, a friendly woman I saw every week, paused as she was scanning my items. She hesitated, then asked, "I'm sorry, have we met before? You look familiar, but I can't quite put my finger on it." I just mumbled something about having one of those faces and hurried out of the store, my skin crawling. That night was day 2. I couldn't bring myself to sleep. I just sat on my bed, watching the photograph. I must have dozed off, because when I blinked my eyes open again, I saw it, my nose. In the photograph, it was gone. Just a smooth, blank patch of skin where it should have been. My face was becoming an empty shape, a featureless mask. I felt a wave of panic wash over me. I ran to the bathroom and stared at my reflection, frantically touching my nose. It was still there. I could feel it. I could see it. But the experience at the store, the cashier's hesitation, it all started to feel connected, like my own features were becoming less memorable, less defined to the outside world. Day 3 was when the real terror set in. I woke up and immediately looked at the photo. My mouth had vanished. My face in the 1978 portrait was now just a pair of faded eyes on a blank canvas. I tried to scream. I opened my mouth. I pushed the air from my lungs, but no sound came out. Not a whisper, not a gasp. Complete and utter silence. It felt like my voice had been stolen right out of my throat. My throat ached with the effort of trying to make a sound. In desperation, I grabbed the photograph, my hands shaking uncontrollably. I turned it over, hoping for a clue, a name, anything. And that's when I saw it. A sentence had appeared on the back, written in what looked like old, dried ink. It read, "Memories last longer than people." I knew I had to get rid of it. I had to destroy it. On day 4, I looked at the photo one last time. Only a faint shadow remained where my face used to be. It was almost completely gone. I bolted out of my room and ran up to the attic, my silent screams trapped in my chest. I was going to burn the picture, the box, anything related to it. But when I got to the spot where I'd found it, the wooden box was empty. It was just gone. My heart sank. I stumbled back to my bedroom, a dreadful feeling growing in the pit of my stomach. The photograph wasn't on my dresser anymore. It was now hanging on my bedroom wall, perfectly framed. As I stood there, frozen in horror, my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I picked it up. It was a notification from my photo gallery. It said, "Face successfully removed." My hands were trembling so badly I almost dropped the phone. I slowly raised my head and looked in the mirror on my closet door. My reflection was still there, but it was shimmering, fading, like a heat haze on a summer road. It was becoming transparent. And then I heard it, a whisper, right behind me, so close I could feel the cold breath on my neck. It said, "You were never meant to stay."